mean, everybody got a nice summer under the belt.
Yeah, I think the best thing for them to, I mean, Petrov's not looked the same at all since he came back from injury. I think
he needs time though.
The best thing we can do for him is a good FA Cup or Carling Cup run. I reckon. You know, we're going to be chopping and changing a lot more this season. If we're bringing quality in, we're going to be, you know, putting out different teams. If you look at it this season, the teams that we put out for the FA Cup, the Carling Cup, the UEFA Cup, the league, have all been more or less the same team.
Yeah. Well, this is why I've got a crazy feeling that this is why signed for Gareth Barry, because the fact we're not in Europe, heartbroken at the time, but it isn't a bad thing. Gareth Barry is on 45,000 a week at Villa, and this season he would have played 65 games straight into a World Cup. With us, he earns 90,000. He'll play 40 odd games and be fresh as a daisy for the World Cup. And I think that's why we were able to entice him. So this time, the fact we're out of Europe, we will really, really, really go for the FA Cup and League Cup first of all. And if we do try to play a bright and understand team and everything, and we do go out, okay, so what? We challenge the league, not to win the league, no chance, but to climb the table. And I think the fact we're only playing 40 odd games will be a massive lift to us.
It will, yeah.
We really need some silverware.
Gareth Barry, I think that's a brilliant signing, especially for the amount, 12 million, the reported amount that we bought him for. I mean, bloody hell. January, Liverpool were speaking about buying him for 18 million, or last summer.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. I don't know how they managed to pull that off. But
yeah, it was a good buy.
I mean, I think the World Cup, like you say, is going to help us at the moment. You look at this Carlos Tevez saga, as it's turning out to be, the World Cup could yet again be the reason how we could get our player. I mean, that everyone wants to show their respective World Cup managers.
Absolutely spot on. Spot on. Nobody anywhere wants to sit on a bench. You daren't sit on a bench when there's a World Cup coming.
Yeah, definitely. So what do you think, I mean, respectively, what do you think we should be challenging for this coming season? League position, FA Cup, Carling Cup wise?
Well, I think that because it starts earlier and finishes earlier, I think we should really attack the Carling Cup. You know, because we will be fresher, we won't have a distraction. I think it's very, very winnable. And of course, at the same time, towards the end of the Carling Cup, introduces the FA Cup. Like Joshie just said, we need to win the trophy. And basically, winning breeds winning. So if we carry on through those cups, it'll take that confidence into the league form, and then we finish. I think we'll finish in the top 6. That's all. I don't expect anything other than 5th or 6th. So.
Do you not think that if we manage to attract the players such as Eto'o, Tevez this summer, if we manage to attract those to the club, bring them in with some quality defenders, for example, Lescott and this Luizão Brazilian defender who's obviously mates with Robinho that wants to play for the club, do you not think we could be pushing for Arsenal's spot in that top 4?
Well, my opinion on this is that Hughes is a bit clever here, because what he's doing, he's trying to get hold of Torre, he's trying to get hold of Lescott. He's already got Gareth Barrett, and he'll probably put Matthew Upson. He's actually weakening all the people that are our main candidates to our European place off. He's very cleverly weakening every single one of our competitors. So if he does that, then you don't know. You don't know if, because now we've took Barry off Aston Villa, they're going to miss him more than we're going to gain from him. Do you know what I mean? And if we do that with Lescott, and we do that with Torre, and we do that with Upson, of course, perhaps we could go for 4.
Do you not think that there might be a bit of a risk then if we're doing well in the league? I mean, doing really well in the league, like, say, Aston Villa were doing earlier on for the first half of the season.
Or the way we were doing about 2 years ago at Spain.
Yeah, do you think there may be a risk that Hughes will kind of put the FA Cup and the Carling Cup into the closet and, count them off.
I don't think he's got anything to lose by going for the lot, because if we've got all these players that are signing, don't forget, you go to Richard, our two worst players last year, apart from Big Phil, the two worst players was Dunn and Richard. There was no competition for places. There was no. They know for a fact that however poorly they played, they were in the team the following week because there's no one else. Well, suddenly you put, let's say for argument's sake, Glenn Johnson and Matthew Upsham in there.
Yeah.
First things first, should Dunn and Richards get in the side, they know what they've got to do to stay in the side. And also, Upson and Johnson know just how good our reserves are ready to get in their place. So I think the whole thing will be a massive lift if we sign these half a dozen players that we're linked to, and the whole thing will snowball into success. Last year, no one was scared of their place. I'll tell you, the only person was actually Joe Hart, and we saw what happened there.
Yeah, straight in, share given.
Mm-hmm. And rightly so, man.
So, I mean, I understand you're saying the worst players of the season were Richard Dunn and Micah Richards. Micah Richards obviously performed a bit better towards the end of the season. Dunn, well, I don't know what Dunn was doing this season, but it didn't look good. Gelson Fernandez, Mr. Square Ball or back to the that bar. I'm not a fan. I don't know why Hughes brings him on. I don't understand why he bothers.
I wouldn't have the boy in the side, but as I've just said a few minutes ago, who else? Who else? You know, I mean, you said to me earlier, I said on air earlier on that these players should be pushing up the league doing really well, like Aston Villa. I like Matt Hughes. I really like him. I like his work ethic. I like the stability of having him at the club and everything. But he's not proven with that quality of player. And that's the only little niggle I've gotten at that, regardless of who we sign. He might surprise us all and be outstanding. I hope he is. I like his work ethic and everything. But to me, I would just hold back and say, let's finish in the top six rather than start chasing anything else. And then if by Christmas time we're not looking like that, I think the owners will not waste a second. They won't waste another window. They'll replace him.
Yeah, I agree with that. If we're not looking good, if we're lolling about 10th to 12th place by January this coming up season, I can't see Hughes staying. I think he'll be gone like a shot.
Now, of course, if they all come round to his way of thinking, because that's what's wrong with Dunny, you don't want to play for him. That's what's wrong with Alano. That's what's wrong with Benaim and Joe. They're all not in the Hughes mold. And don't forget, Sven had a holiday camp atmosphere. Then suddenly he comes in and destroys all that and starts making them actually work for the week.
Yeah. Well, I think that you can tell there's certain players that Hughes gets along with very, very well, and seems to be doing great under him, obviously. And most notably, Stevie Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
And you've also got Nedum Manua, who's, for me, been the best, apart from Stephen Ireland, the best player that we've had this season coming back from his injury into that back four. There's been a huge difference towards the end of the season.
Mm-hmm. Great. And should keep his place regardless of who we sign. But like I say, if Nedum's inside and it's Matthew Upton behind him, you know, he's going to have to pull out of his skin. And if Matthew gets in the side, he knows he has to play out of his skin because Nedum's waiting, you know.
Yeah. That's the point of buying a good squad. Obviously, we're going to have to get rid of a few players, but we won't talk about that because they're all pretty much shit. Apart from Alano, who's just a job on him.
Absolute class player, but a complete disruptive. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what do you want? There's good players around that are available with the same class as Alano. So for me, it's not worth the bother of unsettling the club.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell that Hughes, when he started pulling Robinho off when he was playing shit away from home, you can tell that Hughes has sat down with Robinho, told him what the score is. Robinho knows now.